The street's been talking and we heard you loud and clear. The world wanted more of Disco Rick, and now Hip Hop Untold Stories is giving it to you. Chapter 2.5 is here, the bonus episode you didn't even know you needed but can't afford to miss. We're going deeper into the life, the grind, and the genius of a Miami legend. How he built the hits, how he flipped the game, how he made the bass a weapon. And your host, OG Wildman Teddy T, the only one who knows what to ask. Raw, real, and uncut. But here's the thing, if you ain't locked in, you're already falling behind. Download the iHeartRadio app right now. Set Hip Hop Untold Stories as your #1 preset. That way, the moment we drop, you're first in line. No searching, no scrolling. Just pure, unfiltered hip-hop history in your ear, the second it hits. This isn't just a podcast, it's a time portal. And every second you wait, you're missing the story the culture's been waiting for. So stop playing catch-up, get the app, set the preset, and step into Hip Hop Untold Stories, Chapter 2.5.
Yeah. Once again, back by popular demand, okay? Like, I don't know, everybody and they mama hit me and was like, yo, when y'all doing Disco Rick? Again, you and Disco Rick gotta do that again. We gotta get more. Prince Raheem was like, wow, you know, this is what we need. This is what we need. People gotta talk up this information, bring back this history, you know what I'm saying? And being Disco Rick, I've always known that Disco Rick was the person that I admired in the business because I saw you doing business and being able to maneuver, you know what I'm saying? So You've seen a lot, you experienced a lot. You know, you're the one, the catalyst I want to start this with because your information and your thoughts is gonna open it up this big. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because you got a lot, you seen it, and you was able to, like, a lot of times from South Florida artists, back then it was like, your talent, stay talent. And that's what they did. They didn't think about publishing, they didn't think about promotions.
Yeah, it was more like we were having fun. We wasn't really thinking about, you know, a lot of old artists was saying the same way, a lot of TK artists, a lot of, you know, Motown artists. They wasn't really, they were traveling around the world. Nobody thought about all the other stuff that they were signed with, trying to get publishing and writers. You know, these guys, these bands, from Cameo to everybody, they was just doing what they do best, though they love the music. You know what I'm saying? That's how the old school roll, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And nowadays, you got access to all that, and still some of the people are still not knowledge on that. What they're doing right now is they're on the internet, they're listening to these people, luring them into a platform that they're gonna get stiffed on anyway. You understand? You know, when they was fighting on, David Banner made it so clear. Sure. David Banner said, you know, y'all didn't see it when the movie we was fighting for the streaming. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't see it. Y'all ain't get out here and fight with us. Y'all just thought we was just gonna be unemployed, some unemployed mad people or something like that, you know? And y'all ain't see it while we were trying to stop this. And now they just took hip hop. They just took the music and put streaming it. And you guys not making no money. Guys say, oh, y'all got 1 billion stream. So how much you make? Right. 40,000, 38,000. And you got. But the company made millions of dollars.
Right, because the hits. So like,
and Master P said it very, you don't have product, you don't have sales. You know, it's product. We had product, we had taste, we had records, we had stuff in the store. We go there, we see it. We come off the shelf. When people were fans, in order to have fans, like you said at the beginning, you mentioned fans. To get fans, you got to have a hit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're nobody until you got a hit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're just a regular person. But you can take a new person and put him in the studio, but that's a new person. Right. Until you make that hit, then you start getting fans.
But that's what separates who you guys are and why we have to create this legacy element, because y'all were just having fun. Y'all were just experiencing what was going on, but y'all had fans. Everybody who made a record, a 12 minutes back then, they had fans. All the shows was packed. You know what I'm saying? And we can't get that nowadays, you know? So like right now, that's why I want to go back and let people understand that, you know, you did 20, 30,000 arenas in Brazil. You packed out the State Farm.
Packed out.
You packed out, not just being there, you packed it out.
And I was headlining.
You know what I mean?
And a lot of people in Miami don't know that, but out of town people do.
So
you know.
Now getting back, like I was saying last week, well, not when we did the first episodes, Luke created the media for himself. So anything that he did, everybody knew. You didn't have that, but you went through, if not the same, even more situations. Like I said, I saw personally when we went to Cape Coral and by Fort Myers, they called the police. They didn't even want you to get out the car.
No.
And I didn't understand it. I was like, that's Rick, he's cool. But then I thought about the music and I was like, oh yeah, because it didn't assess like, okay, yeah, Luke is censorship and all that. But I didn't think about you as that. But you're saying way more foul than Phil.
Politics and then sex, and Luke was just over the top with it. So me following behind the legacy of 2 Live and Luke, you know what I'm saying, being family with Luke for years, you know. So I followed the trend and I didn't follow it all the way. I went another way. I kind of
you diversified.
Yeah, I did. You know what I'm saying? So nobody can call me. I was copying 2 Live Crew. I was just wanting to be there. Like when I seen Luke make the move, I make the move. You know what I'm saying? Luke sat there. He went to Pac Jam Skating Center. He had Pac Jam Skating Center over there on 199th. And he had the group 2 Live Crew in there once before. Then he had, he was doing this ghetto jump, you understand thing. This girl, I remember this girl named Mona came from New York. She was a Miami girl. She was doing this big jump thing and everybody started doing it. Then they called it the ghetto jump and somebody went and did what they did and Luke got mad and did the ghetto jump, the Crush Boys or whatever they did. And it started, when I'm telling you what it started. Luke was in the Pac Jam one day, he said, he took 2 Live Crew, he brought them in town, and he put them everywhere. I was SCS Express at the time, and we even paid like $500-$600 to get them down south for parties we were doing. Luke was, he was moving the group around. Back then, that's how we were doing.
That's how you did.
It was like, because we weren't used to what they're used to now. We was hey Rick, y'all need that group? Yo, I got this group in town. Yo, the same revolution. Right. So we doing all that with Luke, and Luke said, one day Luke looked at this guy named Cool Larry. I can remember this skater with the curly prayer. Luke walked over, he said, I remember the word, something like he made a certain amount of money. Not big money in the skate ring. You can make $1,500, $1,000, $2,000 at the door, whatever. It wasn't a lot of money. Luke said, I'm going to take this money, I'm going to record this group right here. So Larry said, yeah, right. So I think Luke walk away. Next thing you know, a week later Luke was at the radio station, which is Soul Star 99. You know what I'm saying? He was going in, I was coming out. He jumped off his motorcycle, he had a chopper. And he had some records on him. He said, I got this record. I got the record printed up as a group. I say, what? He said, the 2 Live Crew. Yeah, throw the D. So he gave me the record. And he had no label on it. I said, what's the name? He said, just write it on there, throw the D. So I said, let me get 2. He said, nah, I need these. I'm going around. EDR didn't play it. 99 Jams, which is not 99 Jams. Right. So Soul Star 99 didn't play it. That's when 99 Jam EDR, let's say that, was on 35th Street in Liberty City in Outer Pattern. So that's when I sent Luke outside. So I took the record and I did what I had to do because I was a DJ also as a DJ with a DJ group, SS Express and Party Down. So I took the record, I was part of the promotion team damn near for Luke. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't have access to do records back then. We did, but we didn't know. Right. We didn't know there was a pressing plant down the street. We could get a record made for $500 whatever. We didn't know that. Right. So when Luke did it, I said, okay, we can do this. Right. So the same way New York was doing.
That's what I said. Like that's what I want everybody to understand. The same elements that you saw in Crush Groove and B Street, we was doing the same thing here. They just had the camera. That's the number 1, number 2 market. So of course they got all the media to be able to show that. But that's why we want to talk about
We
what
had
we was
it.
doing it here.
We had
Y'all
it,
the
but we
DJ
didn't. We
crew
was more fans
of them.
Yeah,
right. But like, talk about like the elements of the DJ crews. Like when you talk about Big Daddy Kunk, how important? Because one thing I know, there was no radio really back then for you guys, but your music spread in every club, everywhere, because there was so many different street DJs. You got street DJ parties, and then you got the clubs, and then you got the big concerts. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you want to like. How did what's the development of the DJ crews and how important? Because even the DJ crews was like, there was certain type of riots and stuff going on. They would allow the DJs to come out because they can ease the crowds down. And that was why Uncle Al jammed on 15th, you know what I mean? So, we got to talk about the elements of how the DJ, because Luke was that ghetto style, you was the SNS, so how did all that evolve into music business?
Well, that started. Let's go back with the guy who named me Disco Rick was Pretty Tony.
Tony, right, that's what you said.
In 1981, 82, 82.
Right.
And Pretty Tony named me Disco Rick. So after I stayed at Superstar Rolotech, I became a party down DJ with Pretty Tony. Tony left us there and pursued his career bigger.
Making music.
And music specialist is what he built with Sherman and all the rest of cats he dealt with.
Man.
But he started developing all this bass music from Fiction in the Mix and Debbie Dead and When I Hear Music, Trenier, and all this in freestyle.
Right.
All these songs. And then Tony left us. I'm like, well, we were playing these songs that we never did these type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, we catered to it. Ghetto style DJ played it. We played it. It was something we had now. Now we got music.
Right.
We not only having the KC Sunshine Band, Betty Wright. We got rap music
That's
now.
right. You got your own.
We got it. You know what I'm saying?
Music.
So when Pretty Tony brought that into us, he had one New York guy, and it was young ladies drive me crazy. And that cat was from New York, but he mixed it up. Pretty Tony really mixed it up and got us going. And after that kind of opened the doors to ADE. ADE followed right behind Pretty Tony. He went to doing that. And me and Luke as DJs, we weren't making music. We were playing their music. You understand? You had the Sunny, all them Sunny records, all this Suntown, and Fix It in the Mix, and what it was, Give It All You Got, Afro Rican, and all these other, Megatron.
Gigolo Tony said he started in 83, 84 with Parents of Roxanne.
Yes, he was. He was right there, right behind Pretty Tony with ADE.
Because that's what he signed to.
And people don't understand. Me and Luke them was going for. We weren't in the music. They was doing music for 3 years before we even started.
And that's big. That's something to know. That's the element of understanding Broward County. But their father, he was from Miami.
Right.
But he just had the business in Lauderhill Mall up in there. And, he helped bring a lot of the different shows that came to Miami.
Wiz. I know. And there's a lot of things about that company and Luke Company, not Luke Company, but Pretty Tony Company. They was making records. And they was making records that was going all over from overseas to especially California.
Oh, yeah, California
was like one of the bass.
That's their group.
Era. You know what I'm saying? So Pretty Tony, ADE, and a lot of other cats that came out started before us, Luke and us. We were fans of them as well, but we look at them as our own.
Right.
Right. With that bass stuff from AD was groundbreaking.
Bass Rock Express. Right.
Bass Rock Express.
And Body Mechanic.
We played that.
Yeah.
That was ours.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we embraced that. But they didn't make noise because they really wasn't talking.
Right. And that's the element, because he wasn't talking, and then at the same time, Billy wasn't a take a chance type of person.
No, they were just making records, and they made hits.
Oh yeah.
So they didn't have that. Then all of a sudden, Luke came and he spoke.
So now let's go there. So when I saw that in the beginning, it was Throw the D, Move Something, Me So Horny. after a while, it's like when Luke was going out talking, it was like 2 Live couldn't articulate what, because he was the owner. So it became Luke and the 2 Live crew.
He had to separate himself. And that's what I learned. See, people don't understand. I learned a lot from what Luke did.
Because you did the same thing.
I did the same thing.
You
I said, yo,
Disco Rick and the Dogs.
Everybody was calling me the Dogs.
Right.
And they was calling Luke 2 Live Crew. Luke
Right.
like, oh, separate itself. And 2 Live Crew featuring Luke. So I went to Dogs featuring Disco Rick.
Yeah.
And got my household name.
Right.
Now you can say, oh, I know Disco Rick.
Right.
When you say Dogs, which one are you talking about?
But that's what I wanted to, because I see, like you had such a relationship and being a fan of Luke. And like you just said, you followed things that he did. So like I remember that. Like I saw Luke and the 2 Live Crew, and this was the Dogs. And I saw Disco Rick and the Dogs, and I was like, wow, okay. You know, because I'm a kid. This is 86, 87, so I'm 15, 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? But I'm following the trends of what you guys are doing and how you're doing it. And it was just so crazy that, you know, I was able to 89 connect with y'all in Fort Myers with Alan and them, you know, then y'all ended up signing us to Joy Boy. But the elements of, because Shy D, KJ and the fellas, they was all at Foresight. And they all went to Luke. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I understood. I was like, damn, you know, Luke has got videos. He's putting people on the road, moving around. I said in meetings with Foresight, with Wiz, and they was just big on distribution. They was making so much money in South America. They didn't even talk about it. They didn't care. You guys make your show money, we're making this money, and it was quiet.
They didn't stick their head out.
That's it.
Luke stuck his head out.
Yeah.
He said, oh, there's a place I could do a video. Oh, I can show this move something. Oh, I can show these girls lay tights. Oh, we got the box turned on in Miami and hit the world. And people like, where the box at? The box was in Miami.
That's right. Collins Avenue.
Created in Miami. And you would say, oh, I thought New York had their thing. We had our thing.
And that's what got
And everybody in prison and every other state, New York or whatever, was watching the box.
They made the box so much money that Viacom had to come buy the box because it was interfering with MTV.
Yeah, I ended up being along as one of the biggest videos in there, along with it was Me So Horny and Luke going.
What song? What song?
Mama on Crack Rock. Because them kids couldn't stop punching up, and the mama mad when she saw the bill. Right. Because every kid before they went to school, they were punching that up. Ooh. Mama saw the bill.
Oh, them bills.
Mama saw the bill. Oh my God!
Them videos got.
When I visited the box, they were on 125th and Biscayne. The main office.
Right.
And they called me in for a visit to congratulate me on the big, you know. Being so many over a lot of everybody, you know, mostly. And we were there. And I'm gonna say this. So we looking at all the Mama on Crack Rock going and the Nasty Dance at the same time, because we did them videos.
The Nasty
the same 2 days.
Woo.
So we're in the box, and we're in the lobby in the box. Man, that Crack Rock was going up so much. So the white guys was like, yo, the CEO or whatever, they kept coming out, congratulating us, and they had another meeting. They went in the meeting, they came back. So they say, y'all just have all the food, whatever is y'all. At that time, we were saying, okay. But that was like 3 phones in that place. So, you know, we went to cheating. We went to going on their phone, typing the thing. You can see yourself typing. Right. You understand, on the box. You can see yourself typing it up. You can see the number. Yo, we just punch it. Don't punch it yet, dog. Let me do it first. Soon to get there, punch it again, let's go. And we was running the number in their place. I guess they saw the bill like, what the hell?
I wanted to ask you, like, what in the world made you make Your Mama's on Crack Rock? After doing all, Show That Pussy, Take It Off, all these records, then you went to Your Mama's on Crack Rock. What created that record?
All that was created for what I seen. Back in the days, what we did is what we saw.
Right.
Luke saw Throw the D. They did it. You understand? They did that. They saw a vision. They saw that. You understand? I saw Your Mama's on Crack Rock by the kids outside Saturday morning. Oh yeah, it was on. They was going cheering. So Walla.
That's the best. Yo, that's the best.
Do that and Walla. I was like, and the kids say, "Stop, you messing up." And I was like, okay, they still sitting there. I'm standing outside the porch in the project. Say, you messing up. You can't even get out. Let us do this. The girls say something smart. The other girl say, that's why your mama on that crack. And the other girl say, your mama on that crack. And the girl say, I'm on smoke on rock. Your mama smoking rock. I say, 2 words, crack rock. I put the words together, and I took them same damn kids to the studio.
Whoa, because that's what I wanted to know.
I took every last one of them. It was 3 from the project. It was 2. 2 of them was my niece, and it was 3. The rest 3 was from the project. They were right down the Edison project, and they all got kids and grandkids now. But I took them all in the studio. I grabbed all of them. I went and did that. And they were actually the puppies.
They were the puppies. The girl puppy that came up.
All of them was the puppies.
What? Oh my God. So they stayed in it growing up. And
yeah, but if you listen to Sexy C album, the puppy was on her.
Wow, well, yeah.
On Gone Girl.
Right.
You understand?
So, damn.
That, so they were the puppies.
That's dope that you was able to do that.
Yeah.
Because, look.
It's just when I switched companies,
right.
They decided to get some new puppies.
Right. But for me, I always wanted to ask you, how did you make that record? And where did you get those kids from? And to know that they were the originators and you just said, come on.
Yeah. My 2 nieces.
Let's go.
And at the end was my nephew. He's a grown guy with kids. He's like, he was at the end of the video. He was like, Mama, please stop. Because they're looking at me. You know what I'm saying? I added all the elements of the kids in the neighborhood right in front of my eyes, bro.
Wow.
It was real stories. I'm like, here's a story about it. Who was tricking on the half? It might be your mama. But don't you laugh. Last night I saw your mama selling coochie on the block. You know what she was doing, selling coochie for the crack rock.
Oh, my.
Your mama's on crack, and it was, it was all good. And I seen, when Trina did her video, she used boom, walla, boom.
But let me say this though, did Your Mama's on Crack Rock play in the club?
Not really. It did.
But not really
because it wasn't
a dance.
It wasn't a tempo.
It was like you had to listen to you. And you told a story, and it was like people were just like, ooh.
It's so funny you said that. Why wouldn't it play in the club heavy, but play everywhere more than in the club?
And in the club, that's what I'm saying.
People would, okay, let's take it out the club.
Right.
But they're going in their car. And they playing the hell out of that car.
It didn't play on the radio.
No. So it played on Hot 105.
Hot 105 played it.
Hot 105
okay.
was the one when they was in Car Gables.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They blew it up a little bit because I had the radio version.
Right.
Everybody else was scared.
Yeah. I mean,
Atlanta was not scared. Atlanta took the whole album.
Yeah, we just went.
I just went there. I was in concert. Like I told you, I was in concert. The goddamn white police officer at the concert in the arena said, hey, why didn't you sing 10 Little Niggers? I looked at it, I said, you heard this goddamn white man say that?
Let it go.
That was it. But that Mama on Crack Rock, it splattered around the world.
Did you think that record was going to be that when you made it? Did you know it was going to have the effect that it did?
I hate every fucking record I did.
Everybody says that. But, I mean,
I was having the fun of my motherfucking life. I was not thinking about that type of shit. It's just like when we did Sally, that girl, whoa. He told the motherfucker, what the fuck that shit doing on our album? My goddamn saying, yo, Rick, this is gonna be the hit. I don't know what you talking about. You and this goddamn group, Gucci group, y'all don't listen. I say, man, we want that shit off. And guess what happened? He was right. Sally, that girl, was the hit. Mm-hmm. These days, we sold millions of records. I sold millions of records. Mm-hmm. I don't know if nobody's selling records no more.
Right. And that's what we're here for, because during that time, I remember Your Mom was on Crack Rock. It was like perfect timing because that's when like the crack rock epidemic.
Oh,
was
yeah.
bananas. Like that's when it took them 5 years to figure it out, and it's like crack rock. They even started calling it crack rock.
It was all selling.
Because of your mama's on crack rock.
Be indicted.
Can I say that? Can I say that they started calling it crack rock?
Yeah.
When your mama's on
Yeah.
crack rock.
Yeah. They put the words together.
That's when it became crack rock.
Yeah. They put it together because I heard two kids say two different words, so I put them together.
Yeah.
Crack rock.
But when that song came out, that's when the news, everybody was like, crack rock hits the streets. And I was like, man.
And then you see it on Netflix. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You see me on Netflix. They're talking about me. How it, you know what I'm saying? It's still the number one documentary on Netflix is Crack. It's called Crack. You go on Netflix.
Yeah, that's right.
You see it. It's the number one, and they show me on the little video clips of Mama on Crack Rock. And that ain't never been off the air for over 5 years. You know how they recreate, they say, okay, this is gonna come off for a while. That's the only one never came off. So when you ever go on Netflix, you can look it up. It's still Crack. Just say, type in Crack.
Now, when did you make Santa Claus Coming, Santa Claus Coming, Santa Claus Coming?
I made that before everybody really jumped on it.
Right. Uncle Al was like the only one saying it.
He was the one that had me doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then when I did it, and blessing
I
of
can't
him,
find that
Uncle
record,
Al,
bro. I can't find that record. Did you put it? Was it out on the 12-inch?
No.
That's why I can't find it. That's what
we excluded when we put the Mama on Crack Rock. DJ Spin took it. He was in the studio. He heard it, and they say no, I was in Atlanta. He took it and spent it, and then Luke grabbed it and became, Captain D. Kung. You know what I'm saying? And I stood there and everybody said, yo, they took your beat. It really ain't my beat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I, me creating it at the beginning,
that song,
I say, I'm going to let it go.
No, your version, because it was Disco Rick.
Yeah.
And I've been looking for that song, bro, because I was so like, when I was doing it at the parties and everything, and then you jumped on the record, and I was like, man, that was such a crazy
It's still
record.
on the internet. I pulled it up out of money.
So it's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's still.
So I can do it from YouTube because, and then
Santa Claus.
Let's say this. So now Uncle Luke, before it's this Luke Skywalker, and then he gets sued, and then he became Uncle Luke because Uncle Al, But it's like I don't know if it was Uncle Al or was he just what happened?
It wasn't. It had nothing to do with Uncle Al.
Beautiful.
It was because he was an uncle.
He was an uncle. That's
Yeah,
what I started thinking.
That's it. It wasn't not because of Uncle Al.
Okay,
Uncle Al,
okay.
Uncle Al wouldn't even think that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was growth.
Right.
He
It definitely
became
was.
an uncle.
Right.
If he became a grandpa, he would say Grandpa Luke. Grandpa Luke, his Uncle Luke.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it worked.
And it was fitting for him, bro.
Right. It fit perfect for him.
It was so perfect. You know what I'm saying?
And I couldn't be Uncle Rick. I ain't had.
No,
you
was.
It didn't sound right.
You had Disco Dave, and then there's Disco Dave and Disco Rick. You know what I mean? That's the only discos I've ever heard of. Besides Disco and the City Boys in Orlando. You know what I'm saying?
That's That was
That's Jerry Russell's
Disco.
nephew. Yeah, that's Jerry's nephew.
His nephew,
Right.
which was the father of the kid,
Right.
Who passed away years ago.
Now, so after Santa Claus Coming, you made Wiggle. Was Wiggle after Santa Claus? Because since you didn't do,
I signed with Luke in 1991, 92.
Yeah.
I left.
why did
Boy
you leave
Records.
Joy Boy?
Well, shit, it's like screaming. Where the money at? Shit. Luke waving a check over here, Let's see it. I told the guy, I'm going to go get this check.
Right.
And I figured Luke, he had Miami.
Mm-hmm.
A monopoly will be me.
Right. With JT, you.
Yeah. That's what he did.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard him say that in the office one day. He was playing this little golf thing and shooting a little putt back and forth. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning when Weinberger had to finish the paperwork with my lawyer from Washington on the phone, back and forth, trying to finish the contract.
Right.
Luke said, yo, I'm signing this, I'm signing Discovery, I'm monopoly. After that, listen to that shit. Like, I see what you're doing. But he was a genius with that shit. Luke was a fucking genius.
Right.
So when he pulled me, of course, I didn't want to be on one of the side labels he had.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He had these other guys and these other guys.
Effect.
He had,
The one was the
Luke
Effect.
Records, but he had like Effect Records with Poison Clan, JT Money, whatever. Poison Clan, right? So I didn't want to do it because in reality, as me a DJ, when I go in the milk crate, I pull up a Def Jam record, I'm throwing it on.
Because it's Def Jam.
Because it say Def Jam.
Def Jam, right. Luke,
You
with the
understand?
same-
So Luke label was the same
You
way.
kind of felt that way when you did see those other subsidiary records. You kind of like, look, because it wasn't that Luke Skywalker record.
Yeah, I
wasn't
needed
that.
I needed the nigga with the feet coming out the cloud.
Right. I don't see the feet. Where's the feet?
I needed the feet coming out the cloud, and that was gonna get me
Right.
some, that was gonna make me look bigger. You know what I'm saying? So people, you got to look at that. You know what I'm saying? Either gonna give me Sony label,
Right.
Sony record. You're gonna give me Def Jam. You understand? You're gonna give me Social Def label. You're gonna give me something. You're gonna
But
give me
up
that
there-
a profile the same way,
Yeah.
and even Death Row. You understand? So all that Luke Records had that label was stamped in the music industry,
Yeah.
like TK Records. These record label, Motown, they were stamped in the industry. So when you see one of them, you automatically know it's a hit.
Yeah.
I remember this right here. This is the kicker. I'm a DJ, and then Sugar Hills has so many records. You got it, huh?
Which one? What's that?
The crack era.
Yes. Yeah.
So they had so many records. Profile had so many records, and this is when I got a little smart. Like, put a profile,
Right.
Ruben, Rick, Ruben, all that.
right.
I'm gonna play it.
Right.
I'm a DJ.
Right.
Or Sugar Hill. Everything on Sugar Hill Records was real planning.
Brand, yeah.
And then all of a sudden they start putting out some bullshit. And then you go in the record store, Space Age Sounds record store and all this. You just buying all this and not even listening to it. You just know this is the new.
It's the new-
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
the
You go,
12 inches.
now y'all don't start putting white people on there and all the other stuff. It started changing. That's when I started studying. Wait a minute. You understand?
Let's see what we could do.
Right. So that, that era was funny, bro.
How did you come up with Wiggle Wiggle?
Wiggle Wiggle was the same way. It was a thing with the girls. It was saying, hey, watch me do it, watch me do it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, hey, watch me do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like Nasty Dance. And Wiggle came about the same way. That was the time when Luke said, okay, here go all this money. I gotta go in the studio to get another big chunk of money.
Right.
I came out with that single. Luke got that single, and he ran out with it. I know what he gonna do. I'm signing Luke Records, so I'm not gonna control nothing.
Right.
Next thing you know, I'm at a party at Luke's house. Luke let me listen to the mixes that came out. He don't send it to this person, DJ Laz. He don't send it to Frank Ski out of Baltimore. Now, Wiggle comes back, remixed. And it goes, turn it up, and all that. And I remember JT Money say, yeah. I say, you like that? Jay say, yo, that's fire. And when Luke was saying, yo, that's fire. I was like, you know what? Let me just go with it. Let me not overproduce myself because that's what you don't supposed to do.
Right.
You understand? You don't always supposed to just like yourself because you made it. You understand?
Right.
You got to give it a chance. So that record came out and Miami accepted that, what it was. And when Luke put it out, they accepted that.
Right.
And God bless again. I remember Fred Hill said to Luke said, yo, I need some more promotion on Rick. And what's going on Rick, on the Wiggle Wiggle? Fred Hill say, oh, Luke, it's going by itself. It don't hit the pop chart. It hit the pop chart, but let it go by itself.
Round 96 went bananas.
Yeah, it went by itself. And I remember Fred
It
Hill.
was the rhythmic record. It kind of helped define rhythmic. You know, at the time when Power 96 was freestyle and then Miami bass, they had that wasn't a genre. So Wiggle Wiggle helped make rhythmic.
Let me give you a kick on that.
Okay.
Miami accepted it because it's Disco Rick and it's Luke Records.
Right.
So they is thinking that's an all bass song because it's coming from me.
Right.
And it's coming
But it-
from
but it wasn't,
But it
though.
wasn't.
It wasn't.
Because it was done by Frankie in Baltimore. It was a go-go song.
Right.
That's why when I first heard it, turn it up, what the hell is going on here?
It's up tempo, but it's not a 808 bass.
They didn't know. Miami didn't know that. They went with it. They made dance. They did all the wiggle. They did all that,
Right.
and it wasn't. I was like, oh, they accepting this go-go beat? They don't even know it's go-go. It's done by Frank Ski.
Yeah, because back then, every time Luke went to D.C., it used to be crazy. We used to do this club called Dream back then. And, you know, I used to always go back and forth. My aunt lived in Silver Springs, Maryland, so I used to be going to the go-go bands and all that. And that was all they would be talking about is, yo, you from Miami, we love Luke, we love Luke. And it was like, when that record came out like that, I was like, man, you know, that's the one thing I admired about Luke. When I worked for Luke, he gave us all of the, you know, the DJs in the country. We had papers to look. And every time you called a person, there would be at least a 30, 40-minute conversation about Luke. About, man, Luke came to my house one time, he cooked, and Luke did this and this. And I was like, damn, Luke collected his own data. And because, and I tell people, this is what made him as a, you know, I kind of wish more people would have patted themselves as a record label, because in the 90s, he had the fashion, he had clothes already. Before Russell Simmons, he had, oh man, and I tell everybody, the peep shows, the little keychains, I used to sell those for $20.
I try to collect. You know, Luke was slick. He had a whole bunch of those things, and you didn't have the monopoly of all of them until you got to know which one that you didn't.
With the pictures.
And I guess he held a couple back. You know, it's like Monopoly at McDonald's. You got all the little things. You're trying to win that money,
Get 'em all,
and
right.
you got to get them all. That was Luke.
Man.
Thing about those little things, those little peep things. You didn't have them all.
Look, that was a marketing genius move. It's a keychain, and it's a girl, her titties out, maybe some ass, two girls kissing.
Genius.
Yo, people went crazy for those, man. I used to sell them for $20. Like, for me, I knew I was a great promoter because I was able to sell the product. And one time I was in Alabama. Luke was banned from Alabama. And he called me on the phone. He's like, hey, I'm doing a show in Huntsville, Alabama. I was like, well, no, Luke, you know, you're banned, but I got the van out front, and I got the Luke girl dancers. He said, that's why I don't be giving you all that money, because you know how to pimp my name. You know how to pimp my name.
He ain't bad for Huntsville no more, because we weren't there last year.
Yeah, so you just did. But he just came, that was his first time going back.
I was the road manager, and we just left there about, 8-9 months ago? Bro, they was out there, boy.
Yo, Huntsville used to be.
They was out there for Luke. And Luke was like, yo, Rick, what they got me doing? I said, hey, man, just go out there and touch that mic, bro. Because them people waiting on you.
Because he ain't been there for a long time.
And that happened to me in Detroit and everywhere else, you know. It's like they didn't see me for years. And like, Miami, please, y'all got to understand these are things that we did already. We been there already. I packed the whole arena by myself. I packed the whole Civic Center by myself. I think you know, Jodeci opened up. You know what I'm saying? Tracy Spencer opened up. You know what I'm saying? These people were there. We were out together. Ghetto Boys, me, Vanilla Ice, what's the other? Kwame.
Right, Kwame.
You know what I'm saying? And Father MC and the guys with the things in there.
The X-Clan.
The X-Clan. We were all on tour.
It was crazy because I worked at Uptown and I worked for Father MC when I was there. And then Luke signed Father MC. And, you know, because he had a relationship with Puff, you know, when he went up there with him and Andre. And it was like, Man, it was so funny because Shaka, like you said, Shaka was the program director in Atlanta. So I got Shaka to play his record, but Shaka had to go do something, or something happened, and he wasn't able to play the record. And Father MC went up and flattened his tires. and Shaka was like, man, I ain't gonna never play this dude's record. So he came into the office. And Luke was like, man, you're done. You're done. I don't know what's wrong with you. He just went crazy. And he said something. Luke went in that bathroom and pulled out that. You know that bathroom. When you go in that bathroom, you better be careful. He said, yo, Ted, get your man. Yo, Ted, get your man.
See, but Uncle Luke was notorious for that. A lot of things and a lot of people, it was moving like an army.
Oh, man.
Uncle Luke was moving like an army.
Man.
You know, when I did I sign with Luke? I think I was with Luke or signed with Luke at the last Jack the Rapper, I think.
Like 94.
I think I did. But that's when Hammer was out there doing his thing. And it was me and Luke in a limo by ourselves going to see Hammer show. Luke is notorious. When Luke walked out and walked place, we didn't have all of the ghetto DJ like he had when he had to fight at the, at the, Jack the Rapper.
Jack the Rapper, right,
all
right,
the Miami niggas there.
Right.
He was notorious, bro. Mm-hmm. He stepped out that car. It was just me and him. I don't think we had a security.
And if he did, he always only had one security. I
don't remember.
Yeah.
But I just remember being in that limo. But at the time, going to Hammer's concert, and me and him went over there. But that guy, I learned a lot from that guy. And people say, who you learn from? I learned from that guy. Yeah. But I was taught by Pretty Tony at the beginning how to play music. Mm-hmm. That's how, you know what I'm saying? And Luke, somewhere down the line, he learned. Mm-hmm. You know, Luke know he was listening to Tiny Head.
Mm-hmm. Tiny Head. Talk about Tiny Head. Where Tiny Head come from?
Shit, Tiny Head from down south. That's SM right. DJ. That's Luke know to go get some of them out of there. That's where he grabbed Chico. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He got Chico out of there, and Chico became, big voice of Pac Jam.
So when you talk, so back then it was no artists. The DJ groups were the artists.
Yes.
And the competition, we're going to battle you, or we're going to, that you got the DJs, Triple M DJs, Bass Station, Big Daddy Kunk. Like, all these dudes are brand name DJs. Like, so what was it like?
Vicious Funk.
What was it like before y'all started doing the music? It was DJ battles, fights, all kind of stuff. That culture. Talk about that, Elder.
That culture was very heavy.
Like 81, 82, 83.
82. Me, as in the 70s. Like 1977 at African
That's
Square
what the dude
Park.
said. Vicious Funk said he started in 78.
African Square Park.
Right.
When I first seen Luke on there and 4 other DJ groups. That's when we out there dancing, and then maybe an hour later, everybody running for their life. Then we learned to take it inside the National Guard Armory on 7th Avenue. It got a little bigger than that. You had the international DJ. You had all these DJs. You had, the youngest of them all was Sugar Hill DJs. Right. When they came about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Uncle Al was the youngest about with Freestyle Steve.
That was like 90,
Spoon, DJ Spoon.
91, 92.
They was the youngest of the bunch coming in after, but they was in there. They came in heavy. You know what I'm saying? So, them Vicious Funk was pure funk. Yep. You know what I'm saying? North Miami DJs. Cosmic Funk DJ.
But that's what I'm saying. These guys were all branded. They were
all branded, and we would go to places, and you could have 30 speakers, 60, but that's okay. But ghetto style was branded as ghetto DJs, but it was also branded like them niggas some dangerous ass niggas. You better not say, y'all shit garbage. Right. You can have a fight.
Right.
But there was some DJs that not only Tiny Head, when Tiny Head came to the city, yeah, he was there, but you couldn't mess with Tiny Head from Kendall all the way down there. You couldn't stop, unstoppable. But international DJ with Nat Moore and all the rest of them. So you had all these DJs, Benji the Mad Bomber, all these DJs. So now the DJs that you couldn't stop was not only ghetto style DJs. It was more like ghetto style DJ was there, but it was another DJ group who like Vision Funk was very dangerous. Mm-hmm. You couldn't say nothing about. But there was another group of DJs wasn't fighting nobody. They would bring out 8 speakers and draw more people than everybody.
Who's that?
And they would go on radio and they would say, Space Funk DJs,
Space
the
Funk.
world's greatest. And everybody go, walking like zombies. Because they were so branded with that, just like me with ladies and gentlemen. They were so branded when they commercial came on, Space Funk DJs, the world's greatest. And that was the commercial. They killed me on one commercial I would never forget. Never forget in 1985, 84, 80, is when they said, the commercial said, Space Funk DJs at Miami Edison Senior High. And the guy goes, so what about the Space Funk DJs at Miami? But what about Space Funk DJs? That's all you need to know. And the commercial went on like, and the guy was like, what? That's all you need to know. And they was so packed because they knew how the slogans, they was just, yo, I would never forget that commercial. I tried to duplicate that 10 years later at one of the clubs. That's all you need to know. It didn't work. Face Funk had it, you know what I'm saying? My brother Face, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
God bless Face.
Like, so with us in Fort Lauderdale, we had Jam Pony, you know, Slick Vic and all of them, and then we had CM Express.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like I used to go to Slick Vic house and roll blunts and put his records back in. Like, I used to always want to be a part of the process and not be the one person, because I felt like I was important, because the couple times I would go over there, when they get finished, the records would just be stacked up, you know, and not in the sleeves, and that's how they get scratched up. So I would take them and put them back in the sleeves in between rolling the blunts. And it was just so crazy, like when we just went up to Atlanta, and he was DJing, Vic was DJing, I said, man, Vic need one, so I rolled him one. And I rolled him, and he said, damn, you used to do this back in the days. You got me feeling like old times. I was like, you know, that's how I want to be, because I used to go to Slick Vic house. I used to go to Hot Rod. Hot Rod was in the thing, so I used to help him do everything. And then I used to kind of like kick it with Laku Jock and Royal Palm, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to feel like Luke used to come up to Broward, where the Miami Suburbs is, and in the Cherokee, and sell the 2 Live Crew records right there, you know, and I used to go and meet him. And then when Freeman got arrested for selling the 2 Live Crew record in Wingate Plaza, is where the store was at. Wingate, you know, on 31st, right there on 31st, where the it used to be okay, you know, there's the light right there, and then the plaza, the record store was right in there. And right after Luke got arrested, they said his records was banned, or not banned, but it was too nasty to play. So the dude sold the record anyway, and the police came and picked him up and took him to jail.
That was a gray area, even with, and to talk about Jam Pony Express. Jam Pony Express wasn't like the DJs we were. They were stars, bro. They were music. You understand? They wasn't, I didn't consider them like what we were. We on the street trying to load up speakers. I consider them as artists, bro. They were that big, bro. We wanted to listen to them. We wanted to listen to their tapes. We go to see them like we going to see a rap artist, bro. Yes. Them dudes wasn't like aggressive like we was trying to battle each other. They was on another level. They music, they words over the music was a song.
Yeah,
If you didn't hear their voice over the song because you so used to it, it ain't gonna play. It's like on a mixtape. So Jam Pony, Jay, Vic, Slick Vic, them, I don't consider them the same way we was out there jumping on U-Hauls and all that trying to go. Them niggas there. See, we was jumping in the car to just go see them. So them niggas, they was on it. If I didn't see them, I got me a Jam Pony tape. Tell you that motherfucker. They didn't have no Luke tape like Luke DJ. They had no Luke tape with Luke DJ. They had no Disco Rick tape with two. They had a Jam Pony tape. Of course, we had our own Disco Dave.
Disco Dave, right?
Disco Dave,
Disco Dave.
Your old car echo, But them niggas at that motherfucking Jam Pony Express, your whole car was rocking, nigga. Everybody in the car, nigga, what? Nigga, what?
Man, like every song would dance to the drummer's beat, come on. And when the breakdown come on, it's like everybody sang, because Vic sang all the same words that he did at the parties back then. He still do the same. So you eliminated the line told you, you know what I mean? All these.
It never changed.
Yeah.
Those guys are like, bro, they help shape bass music. And when I say that, just because we did bass music, but there was somebody promoting it heavier than any promoter.
Yes.
That was Jam Pony Express.
On their tapes. Man.
They was the promoter for bass music.
Vic used to,
and today they still is.
Yeah.
I went to an event last year just to go see them play at the warehouse. And I went by myself just to say thank you.
No, man. Big said he'll come down. He said just let him know. He said he'll definitely come. You know, he's excited to do it, and these are the elements that all got to understand. You know, the DJ element. When I heard, could somebody tell me where Disco Rick's? I think he's in the booth, and I was like, Rick is a DJ. It's like, yeah, Rick DJ'd at the original Climax.
Yeah, I was at the Climax,
Rolex
which is the
was
Rolex.
Climax, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's called Rolex now. I was a DJ, and then Climax was a dance thing, and I dealt with a bunch of. I was in there with the gangs, Tutu Ave. I had to please them niggas. I had 240 Shorty with the Gucci Crew with me. It was just me and him, and we had to please them niggas, bro. Them niggas was ganged up. They loved us. They loved us up in there. And that was the ice of the cake that made them niggas feel comfortable, you know? But yeah,
I mean,
that Climax was the shit.
I mean, and then it's like, that really, I was like, wow, Luke was a DJ, you a DJ. You know what I'm saying? It's so crazy to see how the culture, how y'all grew. You know, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, I remember one time we was at a show, like it was Luke, Jazzy Jeff, and everybody, and Luke was on the bus. And Luke was on the phone. And he's like, how much? 2 million? All right, bet. Got another call. So what's that gonna be? 3? And it's like Fresh Prince. They like, yo, I thought that's just 2 Live Crew. What's he talking about? 2 million. 3. He just made $6 million in 3 phone calls. You know what I'm saying? Because people didn't realize that Luke was the owner. They just thought, you know, oh, that's just them. They out there, the people really like them, but, you know, it's all about us, you know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because, like, Russell, you know, you had all these different people at the time, but Luke had 300 million in 1988. He's the only rapper to ever be on the Lifestyles of Rich and Famous with Robin Leach. A lot of people don't even know what like I watch Lifestyles of Rich and Famous all the time. And when I saw Luke on there, I was like, you know what I'm saying?
In that time, in that era, news needed news. And Luke had to support, well, Jesse Jackson, all of them had to support Luke.
Right.
He came out of nowhere on it, and Luke came out of nowhere on them. They were shocked. They were like, "Oh, shit, should we be against this shit, or should we just help the black man? White man trying to knock him down?"
Right.
So of course, Jesse Jackson embraced Luke. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all the leaders were still scared. You know what I'm saying? Because of what what he was rapping about and what we were rapping about and what I was rapping. Well, they were still scared. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't talk bad about us.
They never talked bad about you.
They didn't do that.
Nobody never talked bad about you at all.
They didn't talk bad about Luke and our music. Our leaders was leaders. They was making sure our community was all right.
Right.
Because most of them was listening to Luke too.
That's
They was Impact Jam at the thing. We all was Impact Jam at some point. We were all there. You know what I'm saying?
I wanna fast forward to because we know King of Diamonds, but
Oh, no.
Diamonds Cabaret.
Diamonds Cabaret.
Diamonds Cabaret had a basketball gym, a barbershop,
Yes.
tattoo spot.
Yes.
It was incredible.
It
Man.
was more like one-stop shop. I'm going to see some ass, titties, give me a haircut, go out and shoot a couple of hoops. And then nobody wanted to do the gym. The hoes ain't want to work out. You think the hoe want to be in there working out in the gym with a whole full gym? Lenny Moore said, "Yeah, I'm going to have a whole gym." Only person was in there working out was Lenny.
You know, Lenny gonna be there.
Lenny working out, pumped up. Lenny gonna stay in shape.
Stay like that's that UM in him.
Like, wait a minute, niggas throwing dollars. I gotta get the fuck up
Man,
out. That's all.
Diamonds was so incredible because I used to go Saturday night after I finished my all my shows. I would come to Diamonds and I get 3 girls, $250, and I'd hang out in the champagne room. And I did that every Saturday for like a year. I used to always come to Diamonds because and it's like. Now, I mean, you had kind of help. King of Diamonds was, but like to me, you shaped Diamonds yourself.
When I came into Diamonds, there was a leader. The leader was Lenny Moore.
Right.
Taught, then one day I introduced Lenny to Pops before Lenny
Which is
opened
Trick's
back
father.
up. Before he opened back up.
Right.
So Pop met me over at Iguanas. Me and Lenny was going in. I said, Lenny, this Pop. Boom, 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 boom. And I told him, well, boom, boom. Because we had Pops, I know we would have, we'll cover. And when them niggas get out of hand, Pops can be
Pops
stop the bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Lenny gonna fight. Some niggas jumping Lenny face. Lenny gonna fight.
Yeah, Lenny
but
ready.
Pops keep this shit like, son, just say it and they come the fuck down. So I figured that's what I needed to help, come in with Lenny to help him out on that part. And then I also said, I hollered at somebody else because I know the man had certain kind of other employees that we needed. So then he had me one day, the next day we was all at the club, Pop showed up, and we showed up, we finna put the carpet down. Another nigga showed up, and they were Paul Neal.
Ooh, the picture guy.
Paul Neal showed up, and then he went crazy. What the fuck? What? I said,
they never got it.
I said, yeah, I know. They had, but they grew out of that situation, but they had business together with magazines, taking pictures. But I didn't know. But Lenny allowed that to happen with Paul coming in. Because Paul had a lot of waitresses and he had models.
He had girls.
So he had models and it came in and it worked. It was a chemistry between the four of us that make Diamonds work. Lenny had all the rules on, to the script club.
Right.
He had the blueprint.
Right.
So you have to respect Lenny on that. Oh, he's an asshole. You know what Lenny
gotta
taught?
be.
Lenny say, you know the definition of an asshole? And this was always going to be in my mind. He said this in 2003, 2004. He said, you know what the definition of an asshole? A person that don't let you do what the fuck you want to do.
That's right. That's right.
That's been always embedded in my head because Lenny knew structure.
Like a motherfucker, boy.
So me and Pop learned a lot about the structure. You know what I'm saying? So when we was at King of Diamond, Lenny wasn't there. He was there the first year. But then I remember Puff Daddy and them wanted to do the Super Bowl. Big D was in there, and I was like, no, they can't do this, can't get on stage, they can't do this, can't do this. And I remember Big D said, Rick, man, y'all gonna make a lot of money. You know, Big D, like, he was just standing there, Rick, I'm telling you, Rick, you gotta let it go, you gotta let it go. And I was like, we're not doing this. Because Lenny Moore had rules. You couldn't get on that goddamn stage. We never had no niggas on stage. We gonna be pussy on that stage.
Right.
So, at the King of Diamonds, so when Puff did the Super Bowl, there was an artist on stage. I let it go because Big D. I ain't gonna lie, Big D, super producer Big D. He was right. He was right. I gotta give Big D his credit. He was right because I was acting a little hard. I was like, cause I was in Lenny's rules.
Right.
Lenny's rules.
Lenny.
I want rules. Don't let no motherfucking nigga on that stage. On the stage, only motherfucker go on that stage is bitches. That was the rule. Well, we broke that rule. Pop and I broke that rule. Broke the Lenny rule.
Right.
So you did it, and I was shocked, and it worked. And I ended up on the microphone in the middle of the stage with Puffy and all of them. I end up on the middle of the stage in the crowd entertaining. I was all 3 nights. And I said to myself, how can I help Miami? So I asked E-Class, I need some po' boy shirts. That's my uniform. And you saw it on the picture. I got it on Instagram. I wore a big ass po' boy shirt for the Super Bowl weekend to promote. Because at that time, po' boy was the hottest right now. You know what I'm saying? E-Class was doing this thing. He had the market. He was a monster market.
With the cutouts. He's one cut out.
He was a monster market. Me and Luke was in L.A. one time going to the All-Star, something. The All-Star. Yeah. And we went up to the arena. All these goddamn motherfuckers running around with the Jackie O signs and all these homeless. He don't hide the whole homeless of L.A. I say, this nigga's a market genius. This nigga's, he ain't had to fly no... Man, this nigga's, bro, I seen some shit E-Class did, shocked, okay?
Yes.
So, a lot of these kids right here, they just know E-Class or E-Class. I seen some shit he did. Marketing genius.
Definitely.
And to say all that, his dream was to make money. Nobody had a dream to say, I'm gonna be in the record business for the rest of our life. Dream was to make millions of dollars, and he exceeded that. And then he moved on to the giant fool thing. Nobody should be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? I remember what Slip and Slide was like. They was all music, you know what I'm saying? But now they're movies, you know what I'm saying? And Ted taking another step over, you know what I'm saying? Everybody does that. You understand? You got to move on.
You got to move on.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody can get mad at what. Oh, we ain't got no record company. Well, you need to make your own.
Ted did my man Adam Barrett's Crazy Club Chicks pornos. He did my Live from the Crib. He gave me $30,000 to do Live from the Crib, and then he did a Trick Daddy DVD that's on. What's called it now? I think it's on Tubi now because everybody be like, "Yo, we saw you the Trick Daddy." I was like, "Oh, what?" I looked at. So okay, yeah, I remember that's what they did in the wind. We was in the back in CeeLo, but it's out there. But it was cool because Julian was with.
I was just about to tell you.
Julian
I was just about to say Julian name. Julian is the mastermind that helped a lot from Luke Records to Slip and Slide to everything else. Julian Booth. He's doing movies now.
Yes.
I'm doing records, doing movies now.
Yeah.
Doing a great job. And that's where he's going. You go to him with a record, he's going to be like, no.
Done that.
No, done
Been
that.
there.
He's on something else. Big. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at that as what Slip and Slide is doing. Slip and Slide has an artist. His name is Mike Smith. Great fucking artist, bro. Great fucking artist. And I only see 2 great artists right now that's doing great. Paul Greasy and Mike Smith. When I say that they break that line across the world, it's over. And nobody can get mad at me. They hold your nose up. I'm just saying. If you got a hit,
Got a hit.
people will follow you.
It comes
And
back.
people follow them because they got hits.
Came in with hits. You know, with Sean.
You understand?
Came in
Like,
with
it's
it.
not the biggest thing in the world of hits they made, because they did. It's up to the company to take them further.
Where it got to go.
They did their job, bro. And I've been saying this Mike Smith for a couple of years. I don't think everybody understand what I was trying to say. I saw the next Biggie, not because he's big, the next Miami, where we have JT's best
Right.
of Trick
Right.
Daddy. You know, well, you need somebody that, That's how I saw him.
Yep.
Maybe everybody else is different. I see him totally different.
He's definitely big.
Paul Greasy, he's
He came into his own.
yeah.
He balled.
I remember playing Ball Greasy at Diamonds Cabaret, and he said to me, "Man, you was the only one playing me back then, Rick. You played me back then. I appreciate it." He told me that. Look at him now. Yeah, he's doing his thing. You know, the gold star with his record company is what?
Was it 5 something star?
No, it's Star.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Star, yeah.
He's doing his thing.
He's
bro.
right in. You know, he's really.
And the one they sleeping on, and I'm not saying they sleeping. Also outside is Major 9.
Ooh, Major 9 is killing it right now.
Major 9 production, rap. He's like, I see the three of them right now.
Yeah, Major 9 is really, because he took off from the beginning. He get
And
money.
you know, people gonna say, "Oh, what about me? What about me?" But I can't mention everybody. Goddamn.
right. You gotta give
And
them,
I'm just
you know.
giving. Let me work myself into everybody else.
Yeah.
Stop having your nose up because I just mentioned these three.
Right.
You understand?
There's other, you got
It's
your
other
time is
people
coming.
here.
Your time is
You
coming.
know, look at. I said something that kind of sparked everybody. If I said I sparked it one, when they said out of town about Miami, nobody wants to say nothing.
Right.
But when I say, okay, Jug Music just said, "Oh man, hey, no, I'm not." Jug Music haven't gotten this chance yet because not one radio station here plays it in rotation.
Right.
And that's what the radio station have to do for us. They have to play these guys in rotation like they did the rest of us.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So they can get their BDS spin, so they can move on to other states.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Our radio station, and I quote, our radio station is holding some of these kids back. They're playing more out of town than they own kid. Oh, we played them in the mix. The mix doesn't count.
Right. We need more. We need 10 spins. We need more.
So you want me to sit there and wait on you to come on at what, 3 or 4 o'clock or whatever, 5, 6 o'clock to play? I can't. I want to hit my song just like I hit Kitchen tomorrow.
Right. Right. So we got to break down. They just came and told us we had to stop. So Art of Hip Hop, thank y'all for allowing us to do the Hip Hop Untold Stories.
The greatest format I ever endorsed was this show as Untold. And there's a lot of things untold. We haven't gotten there yet, but we're going to get there.
Yes.
Because when we get to King of Diamonds, really the story of that, it changed hip hop.
Crazy.
It,
The Drakes,
it changed everything.
everybody.
From Strip Club, it changed. Women start going more. Everything.
It's coming back.
coming
Disco
back.
Rick is coming
Teddy
back.
T.
Yeah.
And that's how we close out this bonus chapter of Hip Hop Untold Stories, Chapter 2.5. We gave you more of Disco Rick, the grind, the genius, the game-changing hits. But trust me, we're just getting started. The next chapter, it's already loading, and if you thought this was deep, you ain't heard nothing yet. Download the iHeartRadio app right now and set Hip Hop Untold Stories as your #1 preset. So when we drop, you're first in line. No searching, no waiting, just pure, uncut. Hip-hop history in your ear the second it hits. Because around here, the stories don't stop, they just get louder.